The 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Champions League was the 59th season of Europe's premier club football tournament organised by UEFA, and the 22nd season since it was renamed from the European Champion Clubs Cup to the UEFA Champions League. The 2014 UEFA Champions League Final was played between Real Madrid and Atlético Madrid at the Estádio da Luz in Lisbon, Portugal, marking the fifth final to feature two teams from the same association, and the first time in tournament history that both finalists are from the same city. Real Madrid, who eliminated the title holders, Bayern Munich, in the semi-finals, won in extra time, giving them a record-extending 10th European Cup Champions League title. For the first time, the clubs who qualified for the group stage also qualified for the newly formed 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Youth League, a competition available to players aged 19 or under. Association team allocation: a total of 76 teams from 52 of the 54 UEFA member associations participated in the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Champions League. The association ranking based on the UEFA country coefficients is used to determine the number of participating teams for each association. Associations 1 Euro 3 each have 4 teams qualify. Associations 4 Euro 6 each have 3 teams qualify. Associations 7 Euro 15 each have 2 teams qualify. Associations 16 Euro 53 each have 1 team qualify. The winners of the 2012 Euro 13 UEFA Champions League are given an additional entry as title holders if they do not qualify for the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Champions League through their domestic league. However, this additional entry is not necessary for this season since the title holders qualified for the tournament through their domestic league. Association ranking: for the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Champions League, the associations were allocated places according to their 2012 UEFA country coefficients, which took into account their performance in European competitions from 2007 Euro 08 to 2011 Euro 12. Distribution: since the title holders qualified for the Champions League group stage through their domestic league, the group stage spot reserved for the title holders is vacated, and the following changes to the default allocation system are made. The champions of Association 13 are promoted from the third qualifying round to the group stage. The champions of Association 16 are promoted from the second qualifying round to the third qualifying round. The champions of Associations 48 and 49 are promoted from the first qualifying round to the second qualifying round. Teams, league positions of the previous season shown in parentheses. Notes. Round and draw dates. The schedule of the competition was as follows. Qualifying rounds. In the qualifying rounds and the play-off round, teams were divided into seeded and unseeded teams based on their 2013 UEFA club coefficients, and then drawn into two-legged home and away ties. Teams from the same association could not be drawn against each other. First qualifying round. The draws for the first and second qualifying rounds were held on June 24, 2013. The first legs were played on July 2, and the second legs were played on July 9, 2013. Second qualifying round, the first legs were played on 16th and 17th July, and the second legs were played on 23rd and 24th July 2013. Notes. Third qualifying round. The third qualifying round was split into 2 separate sections, one for champions and one for non-champions. The losing teams in both sections entered the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Europa League playoff round. The draw for the third qualifying round was held on July 19, 2013. The first legs were played on 30th and 31st July, and the second legs were played on 6th and 7th August 2013. Playoff round. The playoff round was split into 2 separate sections, one for champions and one for non-champions. The losing teams in both sections entered the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Europa League group stage. The draw for the playoff round was held on August 9, 2013. The first legs were played on 20th and 21st August, and the second legs were played on 27th and 28th August 2013. On August 14, 2013, Metalist Kharkiv were disqualified from the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA club competitions because of previous match fixing. UEFA decided to replace Metalist Kharkiv in the Champions League playoff round with PAOK, who were eliminated by Metalist Kharkiv in the third qualifying round. Red Bull Salzburg lodged a protest after being defeated by Fenerbahce Section E in the third qualifying round, but it was rejected by UEFA and the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Group Stage. The draw for the group stage was held in Monaco on August 29, 2013. The 32 teams were allocated into 4 pots based on their 2013 UEFA club coefficients, with the title holders, Bayern Munich, being placed in pot 1 automatically. They were drawn into 8 groups of 4, with the restriction that teams from the same association could not be drawn against each other. In each group, teams played against each other home and away in a round-robin format. The match days were 17 Euro September 18, 1 Euro October 2, 22 Euro October 23, 5 Euro November 6, 26 Euro November 27, and 10 Euro December 11, 2013. The group winners and runners-up advanced to the round of 16, while the third-placed teams entered the 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Europa League round of 32. A total of 18 national associations were represented in the group stage. Austria made their debut appearance in the group stage. Teams that qualify for the group stage also participate in the newly formed 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Youth League, a competition available to players aged 19 or under. See the detailed group stage page for tiebreakers if 2 or more teams are equal on points. Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, Group G, Group H. Knockout phase. In the knockout phase, teams played against each other over 2 legs on a home and away basis, except for the one-match final. The mechanism of the draws for each round was as follows: in the draw for the round of 16, the 8 group winners were seeded, and the 8 group runners-up were unseeded. The seeded teams were drawn against the unseeded teams, with the seeded teams hosting the second leg. Teams from the same group or the same association could not be drawn against each other. In the draws for the quarter-finals onwards, there were no seedings, and teams from the same group or the same association could be drawn against each other. Bracket, round of 16. The draw for the round of 16 was held on December 16, 2013. The first legs were played on 18th, 19th, 25th and 26th February, and the second legs were played on 11th, 12th, 18th and 19th March 2014. Quarterfinals. The draw for the quarterfinals was held on March 21, 2014. The first legs were played on 1st and 2nd April, and the second legs were played on 8th and 9th April 2014. Semi-finals. The draw for the semi-finals and final was held on April 11, 2014. The first legs were played on 22nd and 23rd April, and the second legs were played on 29th and 30th April 2014. Final. Statistics. Statistics exclude qualifying rounds and playoff round. See also, 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Europa League, 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Youth League, 2014 UEFA Super Cup, 2014 FIFA Club World Cup. References. External links, 2013 Euro 14 UEFA Champions League.